Hi guys, this is Rich with Wild Wonderful Weekends, and I wanted to make a video today to talk a little bit about how I'm taking my 360-degree panoramic images that I shoot with my drone and put them together in a slideshow and post them out on a platform that was specifically created for hosting immersive content like 360 videos and images, as well as VR 180 videos and images. It used to be I would take these images with this drone and I would post them one at a time out on like Facebook or YouTube. And that worked okay, but lately Facebook, when I post these images to Facebook, it doesn't even recognize them as 360-degree panoramic images. I think that has something to do with maybe the larger file sizes that these newer drones create, which of course is a good thing. If you're looking at an image, you want it in as high resolution as possible. So I think it's kind of a drag that Facebook isn't keeping up with that. But YouTube as well, a lot of times it doesn't allow your viewers to choose as high resolution as the image or video actually is. And so I'm just really digging DeoVR because it definitely lets your viewers get that more immersive experience and higher resolution than some of the other platforms that I've traditionally used. But what I'm going to do today is I'm going to take you through my entire work process. We're not going to actually capture the videos on the drones. If you're not sure how to do that, I have a previous video on how to do that. I'll put a link in the description. But we're going to start with a few pictures that I've already taken of some fall foliage and stuff like that. We're going to put those together in a slideshow. We're going to add music to that slideshow, and then we're going to post it out on DeoVR. So let me go ahead and take you through the way I do that. So here in this folder I have a few images that I took using my drone. These are 360-degree panoramas. And they haven't been edited in any software yet or anything like that. These are straight out of the drone. And I also have the music files I'm going to put in the background of this slideshow. And it's important to have all of your files in the same folder, especially once we start using FFmpeg. And if you don't have FFmpeg, I have a video that I'll put the link in the description to that shows you how to install that for both Mac and Windows. It's really easy and it's a really handy command line video editor. It's free and it can do some really powerful stuff. Okay, so the first thing that we want to do is to convert each one of these still images into a video. And I like to make my videos of each image about 20 to 30 seconds long, because if you make them longer than that, typically people can get bored looking at them, but you want to give them enough time to actually look at some of the detail in the shot as well. So to do that, I'm going to right click somewhere in my white space here in this folder, and I'm going to choose to open in new terminal. And that's going to open up a terminal window that's already using the path of my working folder. Let's go ahead and resize that. Okay, and this is the FFmpeg command that we're going to use right now. And I'm going to put that in the description as well in case you want to copy it out of there and use that instead of typing it in. And basically what this command says is we're going to call FFmpeg. We're going to pass it a frame rate parameter. And this is a little bit counterintuitive. It was to me anyway. But basically what we're saying is if we passed in a value of 1 right here, then this still image would be converted into a 1-second video. And since I want mine to be at about 25 seconds in this case, I'm going to make it 0.04. Because if we took 1 second and divided it by 25, we would get 0.04. The next thing we're going to give it is an input parameter. That's what this little letter I means. And then we're going to pass it the name of our JPEG file. So in this case, based on the images that I have here in my working folder, I'm going to pass it the number 1.jpg because that's my first file. This second command says that we're going to be working on the video stream of this file. We're going to be using H.265 compression, and our final video is going to be 30 frames per second. And then this last thing that we put in here is whatever we want our new file to be named. So I'm just going to make that also say number 1, and it's going to be number 1.mp4. Now I can just hit enter to execute that command. The program runs, and at the end of it we're going to have a new video file right here. And you can calculate how many frames it's actually going to create. Because if we have a 25-second video, which is what we passed in, times 30 frames per second, then it's going to have to calculate 750 frames. Okay, that's finished now, and you see that it did encode 750 frames. We have our new video file up here, and I can double-click that to view it. And here we have my still image, and you can see that it's going to last 25 seconds. Now we're going to want to do that with the rest of our files. And all I would need to change now is the input image file name, which in this case now will be 2.jpg, and the output video file name, which will be 2.mp4. And you can name these whatever you like. I just find it super easy to go ahead and name my files in the order that I want them to appear in the video, and just keep it real simple like that. So I'm going to go ahead and do this for the rest of them. Okay, now that I have all 4 of my video files created, it's time to concatenate those, and I'm going to use FFmpeg to do that as well. To do that, I'm going to first create a text document in my working folder, and I'm going to call it mylist.txt. You can name this whatever you like, but whatever you name it, you'll have to make sure that you change the FFmpeg command that we're about to use to match your file name. Inside this file, I'm going to list each of the video files that I want to concatenate in this format. I'm going to say file, single quote, the file name, and then on a new line I do the next file. And I save those changes, and I can close this file. Now I'll bring up my Windows PowerShell window, and this is the FFmpeg command that we're going to use, and this will also be in the video description in case you want to copy it and use it. And as you can see here, I have my text file listed, and also the name of the video file that's going to be output by this command, which is merged. So I'll go ahead and hit enter. That runs really quick, and there's my new video file. I can play that, and I see that it's a little over a minute and a half long. Each clip is going to be 25 seconds, and when the first clip's done, the second clip shows up, and so on. Okay, so that's ready. Now we want to put some music behind it. To make sure that our audio file is exactly the right length, I'm going to use another free program called Davinci Resolve, and this can be installed on both Windows and Mac. I'll put a link in the description to their website, and you can just follow their instructions to install if you don't already have it. Now this is in no way going to be a full tutorial on how to use Davinci Resolve, but I will show you what you need to do in order to put this music behind this video. The first thing we'll do after the application opens is to go down in the bottom left here and choose the media panel. Go to our folder, and we're going to bring over our merged video clip and the music file that we want to use. Now we can go to the Edit tab right here at the bottom. I'm going to bring down the video clip and the audio clip. I'm going to trim this audio clip just a little bit. Okay. And what I really want to do is just go out to where the video clip ends, set my playhead marker there, and as long as you have this little magnet icon enabled, your playhead will snap to the end of the video file. Then I'm going to come up here and select the razor tool, come down, and it'll also snap to where the playhead is, and cut the audio. Now I can grab my selection tool, select the portion of the audio file that we don't need, and just hit Control X on my keyboard to cut it out. Now, if I hover over the top right corner of the audio file, I see a little marker cursor show up there, and I can click and drag that to the left. I'm going to drag it about 5 seconds to give me kind of an audio fade out. There we go. Now, if I'm using the free version of this and I export the entire video file with audio behind it now, it's only going to let me export up to 4K. And I don't want to do that because I would lose some resolution. So instead, I'm going to come down here and I'm going to click this little rocket icon. That's the delivery tab. Up at the main top left, I'm going to scroll to the right and select audio only. I'm going to name it audio file. I'm going to browse to the location that I want to save it to. We'll save it into our working folder. I'm going to come about midway down the panel here and click audio, and I'm going to choose, instead of the WAV format, I'm going to choose MP3. I'm going to leave everything else as it is by default. I'm going to click down here at the bottom, Add to Render Queue, and I see that my project is up here in the render queue now. I'm going to come and click Render All. Once that's finished, I can close Davinci Resolve, and in my working folder I see that I now have audio file. So now the final step is to put this audio file with the merged file, and for that I'm going to use FFMPEG again because that will preserve the resolution of the video, and put my now trimmed audio file to it as well. So we bring up our terminal window here again, and I plug in our third and final FFMPEG command, and this of course will also be down in the description of the video so you can copy it. For our input video file, I'm going to change this name from input to merged, since that's the name of the file that we're going to be working with here, and I can leave the output file name as output.mp4. That's fine. Now I'm just going to hit enter. The program's going to run, and once it's finished, we see we have our output video file here. And you see the video plays with the music in the background. Now at this point we could upload this to Facebook or YouTube, but now I've actually started using a new platform that I like much better, and that's DeoVR. So I'm going to go to that website real quick. And this platform is designed specifically to host immersive content like VR 180 videos and 360 videos. And it behaves very, very similar to YouTube as far as uploads go. Once you create a profile, you'll just come up here and click your upload button. But the thing that makes it different and really useful is that you get to specify a lot of information about your video as you upload it. And I'm not going to go through this because I've actually already uploaded this video once. That's right here. But you actually will tell DeoVR what type of video it is that you're uploading. Is it a 360 video? Is it VR 180? If it's VR 180, is it side by side? Is it cross? Is it stacked? Things like that. And once you give it that information, no metadata is needed, and everybody that comes to view your video is going to see it correctly and in high resolution. You're not going to take any hits to resolution. And I know when I upload VR 180 videos to YouTube in particular, if I use a metadata injector, sometimes it looks a little funny. My straight lines are a little curvy and things like that. So I definitely recommend you check this out. I will put a link to my DeoVR channel in the description here in case you want to look at some of my videos to see how it performs. If you have a VR headset, it's especially neat because you actually get to see it immersively. But anyway, I hope this video is useful. If you like it, please remember to like and subscribe, and take care.